And welcome back to the OHO podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Buckeye Boggs. That guy over there, that's the wild man, Chris Wilds. And today we're going to talk about Ohio State's brand spanking new running backs coach. And if you don't know who this guy is or haven't done any digging on this man yet,
Get to know him.
you're going to fall in love with Ohio State's new running backs coach. Now, Chris, it's hard to say Ohio State had a better hire than Chip Kelly. And I'm
Yeah,
not going to say that this is a better hire than Chip Kelly.
but man, it's an awful good one.
But
And
boy,
I,
this is a home run hire, man.
I almost don't know how much Chip Kelly didn't have to do with this. I mean, let's
Really?
remember, Chip Kelly came out of the Pac-12.
Sure.
This guy was coaching at Oregon. Chip Kelly was watching what this guy had been building in Oregon the last couple of years.
You think?
I think that Chip Kelly definitely mentioned this guy's name. I
Okay.
truly believe that Chip Kelly is one of the reasons this guy's here.
All right. Of course, we're talking about Carlos Locklyn, the former Oregon running back. It was official. Was it Monday? I think it was Monday. I think it was Monday.
As soon as the buyout went cut in half, that's when it became
Yeah.
official.
So we are all wondering what was going on. They were waiting for the buyout to be cut in half, and so he's making $650,000. It's a 2-year contract at $650,000 a year.
I think
Uh,
it's
he
been
was making
insane.
uh, he was making upwards of 400,000 at Oregon, and that was a raise after 2 years. And he had negotiated a deal at Tennessee, and Oregon matched it and beat it, and so he stuck around at Oregon, and then got a little bit of a raise there. He was making somewhere around 450,000 at Oregon, and then his buyout was cut in half from over half a million to like 200 and some thousand. So Ohio State is spending upwards of 900 and some thousand, close to a million to get this guy this year. And you would think someone with as little experience as he has, because he's only been a running backs coach for 3 years.
Yeah,
He's been two at Oregon, one at Western
Western
Kentucky, and all
Kentucky.
his time before that has been spent either as more of like a recruiter slash high school consultant slash weight room guy. And when you see this man, you'll understand why he's a weight room guy. And he did so beginning in Memphis. So, and he's from Alabama, Chris. So this is
Yeah,
a Southern guy, which is what was big on Ryan Day's radar. He wanted a Southern guy. He goes and gets this guy from with ties to the South in Tennessee and Alabama. And here's the thing that I noticed immediately about him is his story. So he's in the law enforcement field, and he's spending his free time volunteering with the Memphis program
yes.
to get his foot in the door. Okay. Gets the job at Florida State for a year, goes to Western Kentucky, spends a year as running backs coach there, gets gobbled up by Oregon for 2 years, and now all of a sudden he's at one of the most prestigious colleges in the country, coaching the best running back room in the country. And so far, based off of what we heard from some of the interviews with the running backs who know the man, this is a home run hire according to the kids. Ryan Day said he was going to talk to the running backs and get their opinion on some of these guys. Do you think that this was one of the guys they wanted?
Oh, absolutely, Eric. If you've heard this guy talk, man, he's one of the guys I want. And I didn't even know who he was. I'm not even gonna lie. But if you look, there's so many positives. Let's start with what he did at Memphis and Florida State. Yes, he was into the weight room, but you mentioned a little bit about recruiting. He was like the head of player recruiting development or something like that, which means this guy has direct ties to high school coaches throughout the South.
Yeah.
He
Dallin
was
Hayden
working
knew him.
he was working with this guy on a regular basis.
Judkins knew him.
Yes. Yeah. Um, and then just the level of intensity this guy brings. Oh my goodness. This guy is first of all, sometimes I think his interviews are going to be cut into WWE promos.
Yes.
I'm telling you. And I know we've got a few of them, and I can't wait for people to hear these things. But he brings a level of intensity. He doesn't care who you are. He doesn't care how many stars are behind your name. You've got to get out there and show him that you want it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be huge because I think a lot of times we look at guys with a bunch of stars behind their name, and a lot of times they're really good. And then every now and then you'll get somebody who doesn't want to have to earn it and say transfers to Syracuse. Uh, so I mean, I am very excited for this. It sounds like the running backs are excited for him. Um, and isn't there a certain running back prospect who has an excellent relationship with this coach as well,
Several. Hmm.
including one of our top targets and Jordan? Oh,
Hmm.
help me out,
Is it Davis or
Davison.
Davison? And
Davison,
then
Jordan
and
Davison.
then Bo Jackson as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was a huge, and I think a lot of people are going to find a very underrated get. I think this is going to be a tremendous pickup for this staff. And as much as I have criticized Ryan Day over the past couple of years, I feel like he's finally getting it. He's realizing he can't do it all on his own, and he's going out and assembling the stinking Avengers of college football. That's really what's going on here. He has assembled this just super staff that I think is just going to be amazing.
Let's listen to this is about 2 minutes, and this was when he was in Oregon, and I cut up all the questions out, and I cut up all of the talking about the players who we wouldn't
Yeah,
care about as Buckeye fans. This is just his personality for 2 minutes in what was a 6.5, 7 minute
yeah.
interview. That is just 2 minutes of just his personality. All right. This is a taste of the new running backs coach at Ohio State, everybody, Mr. Carlos Locklyn.
You'll have nobody being complacent out there on the field. Like I tell the kids, you're going to take to my personality. I'm not a complacent person. I come here to work just like I was the guy volunteering in Memphis. So I'm trying to pour the same thing into them. No, just because whatever stars you was in high school, that don't mean nothing in my room. When you get out there on that field, you better come every day to work. Because if you don't, the next man going to step up. So nobody's going to be complacent in there. It ain't going to never sound like I want to hear. I'm old school. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, so ain't gonna never sound like that. So I want to be even a little bit more physical. My boys, they gonna always say the word physicality. They know I lean on that. We can get better. I'm always gonna tell them we're gonna get better. I'm the best. I'm the best. Listen, I'm the best running back in the room, and I tell them that every day. I think you put the ball on the 1 yard line. Ain't none of them out there tougher than me. They know that. That's why I try to stay in that weight room and work out. Cause I tell my boys I want them to work out. I want to look as good as they do. So I'm the toughest one in the room. Period.
With that approach and attitude to the team, are you hoping that that rubs off on them, and do you see that?
Ain't gonna have no choice but to rub off. Cause I ain't changing. It's the same standard every day. And you see them boys. They take the field like that. They work hard. Cause they hear my voice from the beginning of practice to the end. They ain't got no choice. Cause I ain't gonna let up. I'm not gonna cheat my kids in that room. Same word, physicality. That better show up. That's what I expect to see. I expect for them to play hard. I tell them all the time, effort don't take talent. Run to the football because it rubs off on everybody else. It rubs off on your teammates. So I expect to see physicality, discipline, and effort. It's been a collective group. But the room experienced because I'm experienced at that position. So they experienced. They'll be fine.
Ohio State's running back room will always be experienced as long as he's there because he's
Because
experienced.
he's experienced. And effort don't take talent.
Effort don't take talent.
That's going to be my new catchphrase. Effort don't take talent.
Hey, listen, ain't nobody tougher than me.
Man, give me that ball on the 1 yard line. Where was he a few years ago when we needed that short yardage, man?
Oh,
We would have
he.
run jogging him out there. He would have been getting them yards. Let me tell you.
This is a home run hire.
Yeah,
Okay, you knew I was beating the drum for Pepe Pearson, and I still want to
yeah,
see Pepe Pearson succeed. As former Buckeye, big fan, I want to see Pepe Pearson succeed. Ryan Day done hit the ball out of the park. This wasn't a born on third base. All
nope,
right, kind of triple. This
nope.
was I'm going to replace the guy who left me for my rival with someone who could beat the living snot out of him, both on the field and off the field, and on the recruiting trail and in the weight room. Like, this guy is going to absolutely run circles around Tony Alford.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I truly believe he's been there, what, about 48 hours? That running backs room is better already. And it was the best in the country coming in. I'm telling you that right now.
This
This
is the type
guy's
of guy.
mental mindset.
Yes, this is the type of guy who's going to say, I'll take TC Coffee, who's a walk-on, and I
And
will
make him a
I will
Heisman
coach him
contender.
up. And if you, who are a 5-star preseason All-American, aren't careful, I'll put him in the game for you if you can't get the job done.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy we have. That has been seriously lacking in this program.
Well, yeah, and one of our big criticisms, and we've said it all along, was Ryan Day is a good guy. He's a player's coach. He wasn't that kind of guy who was going to say, take your sorry butt off the field until you can get it together. This guy will say, take your sorry butt off the field, go run some laps, and then get it together.
The biggest complaint we have with Ryan Day was that Ryan Day couldn't get out of his own way at times. I seriously believe this happened. Ryan Day took a serious look in the mirror. And I have a theory, Chris. And you know what? I'm going to save this theory for a special video we're going to do for our members only.
And I've got a thank you to go out, and I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't overlap what you're saying, because I'll tell you what. I think there is a big thank you for this, and it's something you mentioned when it happened.
Okay.
There's a head coach at Missouri I think that we need to thank for
Oh,
this.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sitting on the podium before the Cotton Bowl, and he said, I was doing my players a disservice by trying to wear too many hats. Yeah.
I think Ryan Day took that to heart, looked back, and said, "Listen, I am not being the best me I can be. I'm not doing the best job for these kids that I can do, and I am not taking this program to where it can go. And if I don't get it together, the only when it's going to be going anywhere is me out the door."
Mm-hmm.
He came to that realization finally, and I'll tell you what, as critical as I've been of Ryan Day, and granted, I'm going to be critical if things start going south in the season. I ain't
I
going to
know.
lie to you.
I know. That's
But
your job.
let me tell you, I love everything he has done this offseason. I was hesitant on the Chip Kelly hiring just because I wasn't sure how that dynamic was going to be involved. Um, but now, because we had some concerns
Mm-hmm.
because he couldn't hold his own friend, one of his own best friends accountable who was coaching that offensive line. Now there's some rumors out there that maybe there might be a little bit of accountability being held there too.
Yeah, because Chip Kelly just got his O-line coach came with him.
Yeah. So Justin
So
Fry, if you don't have your stuff together,
we got someone that will take your spot.
that is
Yep.
Chip Kelly's offense.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So
I love it.
it's happening. So there's a lot of things going down. You and I are both big sports movie fans.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a scene in Varsity Blues when they decide to go out on a Thursday night before the big game on Friday to a local watering
Gentlemen's club.
hole,
Gentlemen's club.
gentlemen's club.
Yeah.
And remember Billy Bob when he's talking, she's sitting with him at the table, and he goes 10,
10. A
10,
10.
10.
This is a 10.
Carlos, he's a 10.
A
That's
freaking
what I said.
10.
That's what this is. This is amazing hire. Home run. Well done. Love it. Hit the like, share, subscribe. If you're watching this tonight, hey, tomorrow night, Thursday night, 8 p.m., we have got our live call-in show. We're going to talk about this.
Let's talk Carlos.
We're going to talk Carlos. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about on our call-in show tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Don't miss it. Hit the like button on this. If you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed. And you need to seriously consider being a member. Hit the join button. It's only $3.99 a month, and you're going to want to check out the video we're going to drop, because I have a theory on how all of this went down. And it's not the same that Chris mentioned in this video. There's a certain Buckeye who does not want to see this program lose the steam that he built. You're going to want to be a member. Join $3.99 a month, and you can see that video. You can get one of these bad boys, an official OHIO podcast member t-shirt after you've been a member for a month. We've got
Free shipping at
non-members.
our online store.
Go to theohiopodcast.com. There's a store, all kinds of Ohio State memorabilia and things of that nature, and you can get free shipping there as well, as long as you are a member and you have joined. All right, guys, till next time, be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH. St. Carmen, Ohio, with all your heart. Till next time, OH.
I hope.
Go Bucks.